You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kanwal. Here's wishing all our viewers a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And on this auspicious occasion, the government tabling the historic Women's Reservation Bill in Parliament, but the implementation likely to happen only after delimitation and the census. So what does that mean? When will 33% women definitely get to be a part of the Indian Parliament? We look at that big political story, a momentous occasion, this on the news track tonight.
Milestone mark for Nari Shakti. Women's quota bill introduced. Beti bachao, beti padhao, neta banao. 27 years later, Narendra Modi pushes the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Credit war rages over women's quota. Will the bill become a reality at least now? And that's our top focus on the news track.
The first Lok Sabha session in the new parliament started with a bang, with the Prime Minister introducing the historic Women's Reservation Bill 27 years since its inception. This is a milestone mark for Nari Shakti. The Modi government has smashed the wall, but an ugly credit war has erupted. Here's what happened all through the day on the first day of proceedings being held in the new Sansad Bhavan.
In a historic moment, the Indian Parliament has opened gateways for women power. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his first speech in the new Parliament building on Tuesday, announced the Union Cabinet has approved the Women's Reservation Bill, a proposal that has been hanging fire for decades. Calling it the Nari Shakti Vandan Bill, Prime Minister Modi highlighted how the previous governments had failed to bring a consensus and pass the bill.
नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम, इसके माध्यम से हमारा लोकतंत्र और मजबूत होगा। मैं देश की माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों को नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम के लिए बहुत-बहुत बधाई दूंगा। नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम।
The Women's Reservation Bill was tabled by Union Law Minister Arjun Meghwal in the Lok Sabha.
ये असमानता दूर करने का काम अगर किसी ने किया है तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया है। इसलिए ये महिलाओं को सशक्तिकरण भी करेगा और महिलाओं का उत्थान भी करेगा और ये दिशा भी देगा। इसलिए मैं इसकी अनुमति चाहता हूं आपसे।
The bill proposes 33% reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state assemblies. It will also accommodate SC and ST seats, but there will be no reservation in Rajya Sabha and legislative councils. A furious war of words erupted in the Lok Sabha after Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary claimed that the women's quota bill was the same as the one introduced by the Congress.
महिला आरक्षण 1989 में जब राजीव जी प्रधानमंत्री थे तब स्थानीय निकायों के चुनाव में उन्होंने 1/3 आरक्षण महिलाओं के लिए सुनिश्चित किया था। तत्पश्चात कांग्रेस की सरकारों ने लगातार प्रयास किया कि महिला आरक्षण का बिल पास हो, कानून बने। लोकसभा एवं विधानसभाओं के लिए भी 1/3 आरक्षण के लिए डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह की सरकार के वक्त जो ये बिल आया वो आज तक जीवित है, आज तक जीवित है।
माननीय अधीर रंजन जी ने जो कहा वो फैक्चुअली इनकरेक्ट है कि पुराना बिल अभी भी जीवित है। मेरी स्पष्ट जानकारी है कि पुराना बिल लैप्स कर गया है। अधीर रंजन जी ने जो कहा है उसके समर्थन में उनके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट है तो टेबल पर रखने चाहिए। एक या तो उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट विड्रॉ करना चाहिए। दूसरा, उन्होंने कहा कि इस बिल को लोकसभा ने भी कभी पारित किया था राजीव गांधी जी के समय में, कभी नहीं हुआ है। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, लोकसभा में जो बिल पारित होता है, अगर राज्यसभा उसको पारित नहीं करती है और लोकसभा का कार्यकाल समाप्त होता है तो वो बिल अपने आप लैप्स हो जाता है। मैं मानता हूं कि इस चीज को स्पष्टता करनी चाहिए और माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, अगर उनके पास अलग जानकारी है तो सदन के टेबल पर रखनी चाहिए।
The government is pushing for the passage of the bill in the special session as the debate will kick off tomorrow in the Lok Sabha. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make no mistake, what we've seen on day one in the new Parliament building is historic. The question though is, when and how will the new Women's Reservation Bill become reality? Joining me to talk about this, representing the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, its Member of Parliament in the Lok Sabha, National Spokesperson Aparajita Sarangi. With us on this broadcast is Jyotimani Senemalai from the Congress. We have KC Tyagi, General Secretary General of the Janata Dal United. Priyanka Chaturvedi joins us, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha, leader of the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. Juhi Singh joins us from the Samajwadi Party. I want to go across to Aparajita Sarangi first. Ma'am, first wishing you, all our other guests, a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi on this auspicious day. You've laid on the floor of the House the new Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. The question I have for you is, when does this become reality? Because it's linked to the census. We don't have a clear date on when the census will be held. It's also linked to delimitation, which we know is in abeyance till 2026, but will be a very politically fraught exercise whenever it does happen. So when will the first set of MPs who get elected under this new constitutional amendment really get elected?
Yes. A very good evening. Let's look at the whole thing, Nari Vandan Adhiniyam Bill 2023, with a lot of optimism, hope and confidence. Let me take you back to 1996. It was on 12th September 1996 that in the 11th Lok Sabha, H.D. Dev Gowda had actually introduced this bill. And all the governments thereafter, till today, tried to push the bill and tried to ensure the passage of the bill by both houses of the parliament, but no one could succeed. Now here, we have to start the whole thing on a positive note. The Prime Minister himself introduced the bill, mind it, I underscore, Prime Minister himself introduced the bill in the Lok Sabha today, and then he actually sought for everybody's support. And there is absolutely no reason why everybody would not come to support, because there is political will on part of Prime Minister Modi's government, and we would be able to build a consensus.
You are giving me the past. I'm asking you about the present and the future.
Yeah.
When will the first set of MPs elected under the new law come to Parliament?
I'm coming to it. So this particular government of Prime Minister Modi acts with tremendous maturity, and it goes meticulously into things. We have to follow the procedures. The delimitation exercise would take place as it should, and the census would also take place. So I think it will take some time. But don't you think that work of this nature, of gigantic proportions, if I can use that word, should be dealt with meticulously? We have to go into details, and we have to ensure that this particular bill, when it becomes an act, the amendments are through by both houses of parliament, are actually grounded and actually succeed while getting implemented. So I think let's wait and watch. It would take time. The procedures would be laid down.
Okay, Jyotimani ji, respond to what we are hearing from the government. This is a massive rearrangement of our parliamentary structure, and therefore it is a complex exercise. Expecting it to happen from next month or 3 months from now is unrealistic. The government saying we've started the work, we're at least getting the job done. The Congress, which is today seeking credit, couldn't get the job done. Credit goes to whoever gets the job done, not to those who claim they want to get the job done, but rather to those who actually got the work done. And therefore, Prime Minister Modi and Aparajita ji's party is worthy of credit on Ganesh Chaturthi for having moved this historic bill.
See,
the actually get it done, what you have said, is not happening as per the bill table today. See, it's a Congress party. In 1989, when Rajiv Ji was the Prime Minister, he was the one first came with the revolutionary idea of reserving 1/3, 33% for women in Panchayat Raj. People like me who's part of that reservation and won election, then now we become MPs. So that has, as you said, that 1989, immediately when Rajiv Ji tabled the bill, it was defeated in the Rajya Sabha. But immediately next Congress government, Narasimha Rao Ji government, has brought the bill again and implemented it 1996 itself. That's a political bill. Because we implemented, the bill see the light of the day and implemented, first set of 1 million women has participated in the process. Now it has increased to 50%. So Congress party has its right, its own. We have every right to claim because it's a victory.
No,
for
but
the
you couldn't. I'm sorry, you couldn't get the job done. What are you seeking credit for, ma'am? You couldn't get the job done. I'm not understanding.
Wait.
What are you seeking credit for?
Rahul, wait.
Yes.
Rahul, wait. I'm coming. So why we can't take credit? Because we have done the job through Panchayat Raj. 1 million women in no time has become the leaders of this country. Many of us, including me, who made it to parliament because we given the result. It's not we haven't done anything. Secondly, when the Congress-led UPA government has brought the bill, BJP vehemently opposed the bill because we passed it in the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, we don't have a number. We don't have a majority. BJP would have been supported our bill in the Lok Sabha. The bill would have seen the light of the day then itself. Many women leaders would have become MPs, MLAs now. Because of BJP vehemently opposed the bill along with other parties, we couldn't pass because we don't have a number. You should not project as if Congress party is not willing to pass the bill because we don't have a number in the Lok Sabha. We don't have a majority in the Lok Sabha. That is why we couldn't pass the bill. But despite
you didn't try. Between 2010 and 2014, because you were dependent on support of the Samajwadi Party and the RJD, you didn't even try. You could have tried again.
And that's what we are saying. That's No. Wait. Rahul, let me finish. Despite having a brutal majority in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha Congress party is willing to support this bill. Multiple times Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji has written to the Prime Minister Modi ji. But despite that, 9 years they have not interested to bring this bill. Now they are bringing this bill. Of course, we are happy about it. But there is no implementation. You rightly said in the beginning, the bill clearly says, first it's linked with the delimitation. As you said, it's a complex process. Second, it links with the census. That means it's not going to implement it any time soon. There is no guarantee it will not implement it 2024 at all. There is no guarantee that it will implement it 2029 unless Congress party comes to.
Priyanka ji, this new law, once it's in motion and implemented, potentially makes it easier for someone like you to enter Lok Sabha. As a woman politician, what are your thoughts on Prime Minister Modi and the BJP bringing this Women's Reservation Bill on this auspicious occasion? And who would you give credit to? The current BJP or the Congress which is seeking credit saying, ye hamara tha?
So I just made 3-4 points. Point number 1. In 2014, Shri Narendra Modi had promised to the women of this country that as soon as he comes to power, BJP comes to power, he would implement the 33% reservation, which has been a long-standing commitment. Even Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji tried, did not happen. So he would do that. We are talking about it 9.5 years hence and just 6 months before the 2024 elections. That's point number 1. Point number 2, you keep asking why didn't the Congress party do it or other parties do it. Just let me remind you that the 73rd and 74th Amendment during Rajiv Gandhi era came at a time when Congress enjoyed a single party majority. From that era to now, till Mr. Narendra Modi was appointed, we did not have a single party majority, and that's why most of the coalition governments failed. While in 2010, Rajya Sabha happened to clear it, it could not have it passed in 2014, but the commitment was absolutely there. Over the years since 2014, every political party, every senior leader has been reminding the Prime Minister that this needs to be done.
But better late than never. He's finally getting it done, which is much better than not doing it at all.
Just allow me to complete, Mr. Kanwal. Mr. Kanwal, I did not interrupt anybody and you did not interrupt anyone. I was coming to my final point. If you allow me another 30 seconds or 40 seconds, I'll be very brief. right? If you'll allow me, without interruption. So I'll tell you the last point. Absolutely, we welcome it. Is this a fight fought only by the BJP? No. I remember the iconic photo of 2010 where Najma Heptullah ji, Sushma Swaraj ji, Brinda Karaj ji were exchanging sweets. It went across political party lines because it is a gender equality issue. Last point. Prime Minister Modi is introducing it. You say better late than never. Then my question to you is this. Point number 5 in this bill, like we say, it is always the bill in the details. The devil is in the details. Point number 5 categorically limits it to the delimitation exercise, which cannot happen till in 2024. We would have expected that 2024 is when we will see more women representation. What you're effectively doing right now is saying, okay, we have opened the doors. Why don't you all queue up? Queue up and show your interest in being a part of the parliament, and we will take this call in the next election after the delimitation exercise has happened. And let me also tell you, the delimitation exercise, approximately the timing is 2026. The delimitation exercise already is under a lot of controversy with regards to representation of southern states in the parliament. So all the controversies aside, what are we committing literally to the women? We are saying, okay, we are opening the doors, but thank you so much, you still cannot enter till we haven't done this exercise. So I am sorry, it is not even better late than never. It is another denial to the women to be part of the parliamentary system while they are 50% of the representation. I welcome this bill, but I have my apprehensions that this is not a case of better late than never. It is probably something that could have been done immediately.
KC Tyagi ji, you're the only man on this panel amongst the guests that I have on this show, which could be the new normal, and I think that would be a fantastic thing when it does happen. But it's your party that in the past, said nasty things when this bill was brought, that, Sharad Yadav ji said women with short hair, I don't even want to say what he exactly said, but women with short hair will get elected and that's not nice. From there, I see now a qualified acceptance of the necessity of this bill. काफी change हो गई आपकी पार्टी की राय उस टाइम से जब आप पूरी तरह से खिलाफ थे, अब आप थोड़े खिलाफ हैं, पूरे नहीं.
कमल जी, मैं चाहता हूं कि संसद के अंदर भी महिलाओं का रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऐसा ही हो और पुरुषों का भी ऐसा ही हो जैसा आज के पैनल में है. मुझे माइनॉरिटी में होने पर बड़ा गर्व महसूस हो रहा है.
सच बताइए, ये नहीं कि आप नेशनल टीवी पे इसलिए बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन जो मन के अंदर है वही बताइए बस आप.
राहुल जी, मैं सोशलिस्ट हूं. मेरे लोहिया नेता थे, वो महिला सशक्तिकरण के सबसे प्रबल समर्थक थे. सोशलिस्ट मूवमेंट के 2 नेताओं को मिसअंडरस्टूड किया गया, लालू प्रसाद जी को भी और मुलायम सिंह जी को भी. जबकि नीतीश कुमार जी डे 1 से, जब गीता मुखर्जी की अध्यक्षता में कमेटी बनी है, तब से लेकर के अब तक नीतीश कुमार इसके कभी विरोधी नहीं रहे. और थोड़ा बीच में मैं आउट ऑफ द वे चला जाऊं, बिहार की सभी पंचायती राज्यों में 50% का आरक्षण है, सभी सरकारी नौकरियों में 35% का है, शिक्षक नियुक्तियों में 50% का, मेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग में 33% का. खैर, मैं अब टाइम पर आता हूं. ये जब देवेगौड़ा जी जनता दल के हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे तब ये बिल आया था. जो बैकवर्ड कास्ट के सोशल जस्टिस की पार्टियों के नेता हैं, उनका ये मानना था कि वो इस बिल के खिलाफ नहीं है. लेकिन जो वीकर सेक्शन की महिलाएं हैं, शायद वो उनका रिप्रेजेंटेशन इस बिल में नहीं हो पाएगा.
इस बिल के फाइन प्रिंट में लिखा है कि SC ST को रिजर्वेशन है, इन द सेम परसेंटेज SC ST को रिजर्वेशन है इस बिल के तहत.
राहुल कंवल जी, इसमें यह भी लिखा हुआ है, इसमें यह भी लिखा हुआ है कि ओबीसी श्रेणी की महिलाओं के लिए आरक्षण को बाहर रखा गया है. ये शायद आपने नहीं पढ़ा.
सर, पर ओबीसी कोई सीटें थोड़ी होती है, वो तो पुरुषों के लिए कौन सी ओबीसी सीटें होती है?
मामूल.
सर, पुरुषों के लिए कौन सी ओबीसी सीटें होती है? व्हाई हैव अनफेयर एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ अ हायर बार? ओबीसी रिजर्व्ड सीट्स. ओबीसी वर्ग की महिलाओं के लिए आरक्षण को लेकर के हम पहले भी लड़ते रहे, आज भी लड़ रहे हैं, कल भी लड़ेंगे. लेकिन हम इस बिल के साथ हैं और ये ना बीजेपी कांग्रेस का है, ये तमाम देश के महिलाओं के ने जो आवाज़ उठाई समय समय पर उसकी, और आज जो समय जिस तरह का है ये उसकी मांग है. हमें प्रसन्नता है, हमारी पार्टी इसका दोनों सदनों में समर्थन करेगी. और जो फाइनली जब ये हुआ था 2010 में, तब भी हमारी पार्टी ने इसका समर्थन किया था. लेकिन जो SC ST का किया है उसका हम समर्थन करते हैं.
और जो देश की 55% आबादी है बैकवर्ड क्लासेस की, उसकी महिलाओं का भी इसमें होना चाहिए, इसकी हम मांग करते हैं। ये मांग हमने 1952 में पिछड़ी जातियों के आरक्षण की भी की थी। अल्टीमेटली 7 अगस्त 1990 को वीपी सिंह जी के नेतृत्व में ये संभव हो पाया। और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, एक दिन आएगा इस संसद में जब पिछड़ी जाति की महिलाएं भी SC ST के साथ और महिला के साथ सदन का हिस्सा बनेंगी। लेकिन ये लड़ाई, ये प्रतिरोध, ये पॉइंट हमारा आप नोट कीजिए। इसका समर्थन करते हुए हम 55% जो बैकवर्ड क्लास की आबादी है उसकी मांग को उठाते रहेंगे।
Okay. Joy Singh, now you're a woman politician and yet you're from a party which hasn't supported this bill traditionally. Are you now going to rise above party lines and say, Priyanka ji, Aparajita ji, Jyotimani ji, let's get together and welcome this bill, or will you stick to party line, Joy Singh?
Rahul, we've never opposed the Women Reservation Bill, and Tyagi ji always said that we have always asked for a quota within the Women's Reservation, which is for the OBCs, the SCs, STs and the minorities.
No, but there's no such quota for OBCs amongst the men, so why ask for this amongst women?
Yeah, so different parameters for men. I thought that's what we were addressing, and that's what the Prime Minister
No, but that's setting the bar so high and making it unrealistic. Here, because there's already SC ST quota, you have SC ST quota amongst women reservation, it goes through. The question is, does the SP want to get the job done, or do you want to find some excuse to create a roadblock?
Rahul, does the Prime Minister want to get this bill implemented? Let's just ask him, because it's already been stated. I do not want to repeat that the census has to take place, the delimitation has to take place. So is this lip service on the part of the BJP just to create events? What's the homework?
No, but how can it be lip service? They are passing a law, ma'am.
It is.
How is this lip service? If you're passing a law, then you're committing yourself to doing this.
Any law is as good as it is implemented, and is the BJP anyway, is it giving a timeline when this will be implemented? You yourself started the argument by asking that when is.
Do you have a timeline in mind, Aparajita ji? Does the BJP, can you commit on national television to a particular timeline?
See, I tell you two things, please give me about 30-40 seconds. Number one, to say that Bharatiya Janata Party did not support the Congress on March 9, 2010 in the Rajya Sabha is far from the truth. So I humbly seek to correct Madam Jyotimani. In 2010, March 9, on March 9 it was tabled in Rajya Sabha, BJP as well as the left had gone ahead and supported, and the bill was passed by 2/3 majority. But
Lok Sabha,
Congress at that point of time did not have the political will and could not get it passed in the Lok Sabha, and that is why the bill could not be passed, could not see the light of the day. This is one part. And number two, let me tell you that this bill has been, the passage of this bill has been in the manifesto of BJP in 2014 and 19. So we have always been supporting the idea of the women's reservation. Now, as far as timeline is concerned, see, I must tell you that administrative procedures have to be followed. Delimitation exercise has to be carried out. We do not want any kind of glitches on the ground during the time of implementation. We have said goodbye to Article 370. We have said goodbye to Article 35A. We had brought in GST, one nation, one tax. We have done so many things. Historic steps have been taken. But have you seen ever in the last 9 years any kind of administrative glitch?
Okay,
because
so can I just take a moment to explain to our viewers why what Aparajita ji is saying is very complex. Delimitation isn't easy. It's been held in abeyance since 2026. So stay with me for a moment as I take you through some data sets. Delimitation essentially means that the number of seats in a state bases the population in that state. So the more the population, the more the seats in that state. And in the past several decades, states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala have been able to control their population much more than states like UP and Bihar. So if delimitation happens in 2026 in the way that it happened last, I have some data here. This is from the Carnegie Endowment Center. This is by an academic by the name of Milan Vaishnav. What it means is that in a state like Tamil Nadu, the number of seats at present are 39 in the Lok Sabha. If the projected population in 2026 is the barometer for the number of seats in Tamil Nadu in 2026, then the number of seats will come down to 31. Let's just have Tamil Nadu on the screen. That's down 8 from the current number. In a state like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where currently you have 42 seats, the number of seats will come down cumulatively to 34. That's down 8 from present. In Kerala, it will come down from 20 to 12. That's down 8 in Kerala. It's the same in all South Indian states. But to make this point, let me now take you to the North Indian states. In a state like Uttar Pradesh, which currently has 80 seats, if the population projected in 2026 in Uttar Pradesh and in the rest of the country is taken as the basis, the number of seats in Uttar Pradesh go up from 80 to 91. That's 11 more than at present. In Bihar, the number of seats go from 40 to 50. That's 10 more than at present. In a state like Rajasthan, from 25 to 31, that's 6 more than at present. In MP, they go up by 4 more. So what that means is that South Indian states see their proportionate representation in the Lok Sabha come down. North Indian states see their proportionate represented go up. So therefore, the South won't like it, the North will like it because they become more politically significant, but there will be a big backlash in the South. And that is the problem. Aparajita ji, do you have any thoughts on how you hope to address this question? Because you're making it seem as if it's only procedural. It's far more complex than just being procedural.
I entirely agree. It is a complicated procedure, but only the government of Prime Minister Modi can handle complex things. You have seen in the past 9 years how we operate, and we are very confident that we would be grounding this particular reservation. So tomorrow is the day when we are going to have discussion on various dimensions of this particular bill. Let there be consensus and let the bill be passed, and then thereafter you would see administrative procedures would be put into place, and we would be monitoring very closely.
The other thing is, this is linked to the census. The census was to happen in 2020. The census didn't happen in 2022, so it's been delayed. In the US, in the UK, even in China, censuses have happened after the pandemic. In India, why haven't we had a census so far? When will the census take place, ma'am?
See, the government will actually speak regarding the methodology that it would adopt in the days to come. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 days, the Minister of Law would be talking to the whole nation regarding the procedures to be adopted. And within a definite time frame about which everybody would get to know, we would be doing the whole thing. And
okay, Priyanka Chaturvedi has a finger up, so let me go across to Priyanka. The BJP saying yes, delimitation and census are complex, but the BJP government is master at dealing with complex issues, and they will explain in Parliament what the next steps are. Let's not get carried away just at this moment. Priyanka Chaturvedi.
So,
yes.
No, there's nothing to get carried away. They had an option of implementing this in 2024. What stopped them from doing it? Using this delimitation crutch, I think is just an excuse to delay the reservation that women have been fighting for over the years. And you'd be doing the gender equality a lot of injustice by trying to justify something like this. Now, second point to something she said, oh, we have implemented 370, oh, we did the GST. So I'd want to ask her, ma'am, did you do it immediately with effect immediately after once it becomes an act, or you did it on a future given date, which again is an uncertainty? The second thing she said is, oh, we have done fantastic implementation over the years under Mr. Modi's leadership. I just like to remind her about the demonetization. Only a person who had stopped reading the news for those 100 days would say something like this, that implementation was flawless. Implementation of GST had come with so many problems for small businesses, many businesses had shut down. Let's not forget the COVID lockdown. So let's not say, oh, because this is an implementation will be flawless. How can you commit implementation will be flawless when delimitation itself is causing a lot of concern in southern states? And you've just shared the data points with us. Every data suggests that representation of southern states will reduce for having done a good job on controlling the population. While those who haven't done a good job will have more representation. How does that work for the people of the country? So those are controversies, those are concerns, and no bill or no act has been passed with a future date, which is 7 years from now. 7 years from now. So this is nothing but, just, I'm sorry, which Amit Shah ji had used the word, Chunavi Jumla.
You know, there's another way of looking at it. In India, and I just want to call this data set on our screen right now. In India, every Lok Sabha seat on an average is about 24 lakh voters, right? That's the representation. This is as per Inter-Parliamentary Union data for 2019 and World Bank population data. So there it is on your screen right now. So about 24 odd lakh is the number of voters, citizens on every parliamentary seat. In a country like the United States, it's less than 10 lakhs. In Pakistan, it's just above 5 lakhs. Even Nigeria, it's about 5 lakhs. Indonesia, Bangladesh, much smaller seats. So the other idea is that you create more seats. Remember, the new parliament is actually capable of seating 800 plus MPs. Our current strength is 543. So can you then increase the number of seats? And there is another calculation that's been done. If you just make seats smaller in terms of the number of people on every seat, then there's another formula. And again, remember, these are academics who are doing this extrapolation, so we still need to see what the government thinks. But as per the second data, then in a state like Tamil Nadu, you'd go up from 39 to 49 seats. In a state like Uttar Pradesh, you'd go up from 80 to 143. In Bihar, you'd then go from 40 to 79. West Bengal 48 to 60, Gujarat from 26 to 43, Rajasthan from 25 to 50. So you have more seats, smaller seats, more seats. But that's complex as well, because even in that formulation, the aggregate number of seats in the south and percentage of overall comes down for southern states. Let me go across to Yashwant Deshmukh, who spends a lot of time studying this. Yashwant, we haven't heard any formal reason, but can you, as best as you can, explain to our viewers why has the census been delayed? When is the census likely to happen? And about delimitation, when it happens, if it happens as per the past formula, then how do you deal with this north versus south question?
Well, I will start with your later part first, because census delay is due to the pandemic, and the government might deem fit that to do as and when they feel like. I don't want to get into that controversy. But Rahul, you are so correct when you are talking about, even with the increased number of seats, if the proportion of the seats from the states who have done wonderfully in controlling their population, on increasing their literacy rate, education rate and everything, why should they be punished by their proportion of the seats in the parliament being reduced? So obviously that is not going to happen, Rahul. I am pretty clear that is kind of opening a Pandora's box. It is like punishing the best of your students.
No, but that's what delimitation means. But that's what delimitation means. That's what the definition of delimitation
is. But I think they will have to figure a way out where the proportion of the seats from different states, they remain common. But within those states, the number of population might be evenly distributed. Like, for example, an average number of voter in Kerala might remain 10 lakh, but the number of seats will remain that 20. And in UP, it might be 20 lakhs. But you can't help it, because that would be wrong. That would be like...
No, but that's why delimitation is on pause till 2026.
Exactly. That's why it was frozen till 2026, because it was an issue where nobody knew how to deal it. And I'm absolutely dead sure, even in 26, it is an issue where nobody knows a clue on how to deal it. You just cannot punish the southern states for performing good on different indices, for controlling their population growth, for doing so well. They cannot be punished. Number one. Number two.
No, so there's another formula. There's another formula, which is that you have dual seats. So on 1/3 of the seats, you have 2 MPs, like we did from 51 to 61. You have dual member seats. So there's one from general category or SC, ST, and there's one woman MP as well. Is that better in your view?
I think the best possible way to deal it, I have proposed this one earlier as well, that, best way is to increase the strength of the number of the entire parliament by 33% to accommodate this women's quota. But the women's quota should be applied in a proportional representation manner, like 543 seats go to the elections just the way they are. But the additional seats are allocated as per the votes polled in the parliamentary election. That will make multiple things go in one together giant thing, where, proportional representation comes in. You don't have to redraw the districts. You don't have to do anything of that sort, which might flare up, which might,
No, but those MPs may be seen as second-class MPs, because it's proportional representation and you haven't gone to the voters and got elected.
No, they are not. They are not. They are. You see, this. They
No,
are.
but
so
someone
many
like a Priyanka Chaturvedi or a Juhi Singh may not be happy. They want to go to voters and win a bona fide election. They don't want this entry through the back door. Why would anybody want it? Priyanka ji, do you want that? This idea that there can be proportional representation?
I am absolutely sure.
Sir, this is a very patriarchal idea in my view. Why would she be okay with it?
Rahul, I am absolutely sure that even Juhi
I have fought my fight without a reservation, and I am where I am. No, this would be doing a huge disservice to the idea of having women in the parliament. We have fought, whether it is my other colleagues in the parliament, Jyoti Mani especially. Jyoti Mani has seen a life of struggle where she started from Panchayat and where she is now. And that is our ability to fight. But because something was promised to us in the constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had drafted a constitution which gave us equal rights, which was denied to us. And that is why we are asking for this reservation, that a long overdue quota has to be implemented. We don't want this proportional, decorative idea of having women in the parliament.
No. You are getting
We want to be active members at the power table taking policy decisions.
This is neither decorational. I think you are getting my entire idea absolutely wrong. This is neither decorational nor in that way, Priyanka ji. This is a well thought of election. Females will be contesting in all the seats the way they have been contesting.
Rahul.
But you are using that vote to convert into a kind of seat. I tell you why. Because Juhi ji also will never say, in the spirit of the federalism, that the Kerala should be punished because they had a good laws implemented over there in terms of population control.
Okay, let Juhi Singh speak for Juhi Singh. Let Juhi Singh speak for Juhi Singh. Juhi, go on.
Not be punished, but then if you've promised reservation on the same parameters as men, then why introduce a different modality for the entire women segment, Yashwantji? I mean, it's for the government. Why have they not worked out the modalities? Why have they not done their homework? And if they do not want to implement that bill,
Okay, केसी त्यागी जी, आपको इतने साल का तजुर्बा है, आप बताएं कि इसको डील कैसे करें? Because you want to create reservation, you want to ensure that the southern states aren't punished for their good work on health, education, women's empowerment. How do you break this deadlock? What do you do with the tricky issue of delimitation, which is now linked to the future of the Women's Reservation Bill? KC Tyagi.
Rahul.
Just 1 second, Jyoti Mani ji. Let me hear from KC Tyagi. KC Tyagi.
राहुल जी, एक तो इसमें अधूरापन ये भी है कि राज्यसभा और विधान परिषद में ये महिला रिजर्वेशन कोटा विल नॉट बी एप्लीकेबल. तो जेडीयू एंड द सोशलिस्ट ब्लॉक वांट्स कि दे आल्सो मस्ट बी इंक्लूडेड इन विधान परिषद एंड राज्यसभा.
करके स्टार्ट करते ना, सभी कुछ पहले दिन हो जाएगा तो कैसे होगा? अगर लकीरी इतनी दूर खींच दो तो फिर तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा ना सर. एक एक करके बढ़ते हैं.
अपनी राय तो रखने दीजिए राहुल जी. ये तो आपका वर्जन है ना, मेरा नहीं है ना. मुझे अपनी राय रखने दीजिए.
ठीक है.
दूसरा ये है 1931 जब ब्रिटिश रूल था और इंडिया का कास्ट सिस्टम बहुत मजबूत था, उस समय पहली जातिगत जनगणना हुई थी. लोगों ने सोशल प्रेशर की वजह से अपनी जात भी छिपाई. गरीब और छोटी जातियों के लोग अपने आप को बड़ी जातियों में सम्मिलित कर लेते थे. उत्तर प्रदेश की हमारी हैं जूही जी, ये जानती हैं कि ज़्यादातर लोध समुदाय के लोगों ने लोध राजपूत लिख दिया. बहुत सारे लोगों ने कुर्मी क्षत्रिय सभा लिख दिया. लिहाजा आज तक भी जनगणना नहीं हुई है और ये कोई मामूली काम नहीं है. 9 साल में भी नहीं हुई और खाली कोरोना के पीरियड का बहाना नहीं चलता, उसके बाद भी 4 साल हो गए. तो एक तो जातिगत जनगणना, एक तो जनगणना होना चाहिए और उसमें जात का भी कॉलम होना चाहिए. अमृत काल में देश को ये जानने का हक है कि 75 सालों में किन सोशल फोर्सेस का एम्पावरमेंट कम हुआ है, किन का बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ है, कौन से डिप्राइव्ड सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी हैं, कैसे सबका साथ सबका विकास में इंक्लूड किया जाना चाहिए. और उसके बाद जो आपने बाद वाला बताया है वो सबसे टिपिकल इशू है. मैं चाहता हूं कि साउथ के कंसर्न जो हैं उसको भी नोटिस किया जाना चाहिए. और फिर मैं वही कहना चाहता हूं, ये कोई एक पार्टी का सरकार का एजेंडा नहीं, ये मल्टी पार्टी होना चाहिए. सब लोगों को शामिल किया जाना चाहिए, दक्षिण को भी उत्तर को भी, और सारे पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ को एंगेज किया जाना चाहिए. और तब ये डिलिमिटेशन का काम शुरू करना चाहिए. और भी इसमें कई चीज़ें मैं उस पर नहीं कहना चाहता, चूँकि मैं आज पॉजिटिव रहना चाहता हूँ. और पॉजिटिव ये है, ऑल द सोशलिस्ट ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड एंड मार्क दे आर इन फेवर ऑफ द महिला रिजर्वेशन बिल. वी सैल्यूट द बिल. और इसका क्रेडिट एक को नहीं, पूरे देश की महिलाओं के संगठनों को जो लड़ी हैं. मुझे आज बहन सुषमा स्वराज की भी याद आ रही है, वो भी लड़ी थी इसके लिए, आज वो नहीं है. और इसके तहत जो गरीब जातियों की समूहों की महिलाएं हैं, मैं राहुल जी आपसे डिसएग्री करता हूं, वो तो पुरुषों SC ST महिलाओं का है, पुरुषों का नहीं है. पुरुषों का अलग से है, बना हुआ उसके अंदर कोटा. लिहाजा जो बैकवर्ड क्लास की, गरीब जातियों की, गरीब समूहों की, जो सोशली एजुकेशनली बैकवर्ड हैं, उनको भी इसमें शामिल किया जाए. और हमारे जैसे लोग, द सोशलिस्ट ऑफ ब्रांड एंड ऑल प्रोग्रेसिव फोर्सेस फॉर द सोशो इकोनॉमी एम्पावरमेंट, उसके लिए अपनी लड़ाई और प्रतिरोध जारी रखेंगे.
सर, क्या प्रोग्रेसिव फोर्स है? चांद भी चाहिए, तारा भी चाहिए, हर तारा चाहिए, एक ही साथ चाहिए. जो मिल रहा है अभी वो तो लेके कम से कम काम तो स्टार्ट होने दीजिए. बट I want to go across to Jyotimani on the question of delimitation, because in Tamil Nadu, if we go for proportional seats, the number of seats comes down from 39 at present to 31. That's 8 lesser than at present. Uttar Pradesh goes up from 80 potentially to 91. That's 11 more than at present. That would create potentially a big backlash in the south.
Rahul, give me some time without interfering. See, this will definitely create a backlash in the south. It also will see the legal battles which will not going to end anytime soon. That is why this government is cleverly linking with this, with census, fresh census and the delimitation. Because they do not want to pass the Women Reservation Bill, because they have any commitment or any political will, they could have do it between 2014 to 19 at the beginning of the 2019. Why now they are bringing at the end of their term? Because the government is marred with so much problem. Because unlike, I am not agree with what my colleague in the BJP is saying. You see the track record of this government. This government is full of jumlas. They said 15 lakhs rupees in account. Now later they said it's a jumla. They said 2 crore. They will create 2 crore jobs. It's not done. They said actually they will double the income of the farmer. They haven't done. They said they will control the price rise. Price rise is skyrocketing. Now top of that, there is 7.5 lakh crore corruption. Actually CAG has reported, and they lost Karnataka badly. There are other 5 states they might lose badly. Because of that, they want to change the discourse. That is why they are saying this one nation, one election.
Okay, so that's a rhetorical point. That's a rhetorical political point. You made it, which is fine. I'm out of time. Parajita ji, final words. We've seen in the last 20 minutes on this discussion how when you link women's reservation to more complex issues like delimitation, census, once you get started, is reasonably straightforward unless you get caught in the caste census trap. It's reasonably straightforward. But delimitation is complex no matter how you go, like Yashwant Deshmukh pointed out. So is it wise to have linked women's reservation bill with two very complex issues which aren't easy to resolve?
Cynicism is a disease these people suffer from. This was a historic day, a great thing is going to happen, and I think everybody should acknowledge and appreciate. Having said that, let me tell you that in the past 9 years, PM Modi's government has caught bull bites horns. So this is definitely a complicated task. But I must tell you that whatever has to be done will be done. Implementation has always been the strong point of PM Modi's government. We would be listing out the tasks ahead, and one after the other we would be carrying out all the tasks, and we would be enlisting everybody's support. And as far as the timelines are concerned, as far as the implementation methodology is concerned, please wait for the next 2 days. Do participate in the discussion. This is my appeal to all the honorable MPs of different political parties. Do participate and give your considered opinion. Everyone is entitled to his or her opinion. And then please listen to the government. We would be carrying out this task. Please support us.
So the Modi government has staked its credibility on being able to implement the bill. You've heard during the course of this discussion about why delimitation is complex, how the census is held up, but ultimately the government will be judged by every woman and man watching whether they're able to walk the talk. So Parajita Sarangi says It's easy to be cynical. Give us time. The Modi government will get the job done. We will track, and hopefully over the next couple of days we'll get answers to some of these questions. For the time being, once again, Yashwant Deshmukh, KC Tyagi, Juhi Singh, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Jyoti Mani and Aparajita ji. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. We're slipping into a quick break. When we come back, New Delhi expels top Canadian diplomat hours after Justin Trudeau accused India of killing Khalistani terrorist Nijar. Details coming up on the other side.
Months went into building this monumental narrative. An architectural masterpiece. A reflection of the nation's Atmanirbhar vision. Let's take you now on a tour of India's new parliament. The House of the People. Our new Lok Sabha. Larger and grander. 888 seats. Almost 300 more than the old chamber. This is the brand new Rajya Sabha, bigger, more spacious. Designed to accommodate 384 members, around 100 more seats than the present upper house. Vastness is just one element of this stately complex. India's new parliament embodies the Indian diversity in all its glory. Materials sourced from across the country to build this temple of democracy. Teak wood from Nagpur in Maharashtra, Rajasthan's red and white sandstone. Carpets procured from Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. The stone jali work bears the craftsmanship of Rajnagar in Rajasthan and Noida in Uttar Pradesh. Flooring of bamboo wood from the northeast from Agartala in Tripura. Indore in Madhya Pradesh sent the Ashok Chakra. The Ashok emblem sourced from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra and Jaipur in Rajasthan.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
After giving the cold shoulder to Justin Trudeau at the G20 summit in New Delhi, the Indian government has expelled a senior Canadian diplomat. This after Trudeau accused India of murdering Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing and expelled a senior Indian diplomat. India has called the charges absurd and motivated.
The gloves are off. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Monday announced in Parliament Indian agents could be behind the killing of Canadian citizen Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani terrorist wanted in India.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
been clear. We will.
Canada has expelled an Indian diplomat over what it calls the involvement of a foreign government in its internal affairs. Within hours of Canada's provocation, New Delhi retaliated by expelling a senior Canadian diplomat.
You got External Affairs Minister. Sir, you meet the. You got External Affairs Minister.
India has called Canada's accusations absurd and politically motivated to shift the focus from Khalistani terrorists and extremists who are being allowed a free run there.
Phrase which came to my mind was actually a Hindi phrase, which was "Ulta chor kotwal ko dante." I mean, if anybody has a complaint, we have a complaint about Canada. You know, what I said earlier, the space that they're giving to Khalistanis and to violent extremists. So I was very perplexed by what I heard.
Nijjar, whom India had declared a wanted terrorist, was gunned down on June 18th in Surrey. The NIA had issued an arrest warrant for Nijjar, accusing him of carrying out terrorist attacks in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had taken up the issue of Khalistani extremists getting a voice in Canada in his bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Trudeau in Delhi on the sidelines of G20. Trudeau claims he'd discussed Nijjar's killing with the Indian Prime Minister. Canada had recently suspended negotiations for a free trade agreement with India. With the latest accusations, the already sour diplomatic relations between the two countries have hit a new low. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the news track tonight. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.